Hello and welcome to our video on work and energy. Today, we will be discussing these fundamental concepts in physics and how they relate to each other. If you are a high school student who is struggling to understand these concepts, then you are in the right place. So, let's get started. First, let's define work. Work is the transfer of energy that occurs when a force is applied to an object and causes it to move a certain distance. For example, when you push a box across the floor, you are doing work on the box by transferring energy to it. The amount of work you do depends on the force you apply and the distance the box moves. Now let's talk about energy. Energy is the ability to do work. There are different forms of energy such as kinetic energy, potential energy, and thermal energy. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. Potential energy is the energy an object has due to its position. Thermal energy is the energy associated with the temperature of an object. The law of conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred from one form to another. This is a fundamental concept in physics that you will encounter in many different areas of the subject. Let's now look at some examples of work and energy. Suppose you have a ball on a table. If you lift the ball up to a certain height, you are doing work on the ball by transferring potential energy to it. When you release the ball, it will fall back down to the table, and as it falls, the potential energy is converted to kinetic energy, the energy of motion. When the ball hits the table, the kinetic energy is transferred to the table, and some of it is converted into thermal energy, which is why you hear a sound. Another example is a car moving down a hill. As the car moves downhill, it gains kinetic energy. This kinetic energy can then be used to do work, such as turning the wheels of the car or moving an object. If the car comes to a stop at the bottom of the hill, all the kinetic energy is transferred to the brakes and converted into thermal energy. Now let's talk about some real-life applications of work and energy. Have you ever wondered how a roller coaster works? A roller coaster is a great example of how work and energy are used to create an exciting ride. As the coaster is lifted up to the top of a hill, potential energy is transferred to it. As it then travels down the hill, this potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, creating a thrilling ride. Finally, let's talk about the relationship between work and power. Power is the rate at which work is done. It is defined as the amount of work done per unit time. The unit of power is the watt, which is equal to 1 joule per second. The more power you have, the more work you can do in a shorter amount of time. So, that's a brief introduction to work and energy. We hope this video has helped you understand these fundamental concepts in physics. Remember, these concepts are used in many different areas of physics, so it is important to have a good understanding of them. Thanks for watching.